Hello, thanks again for tuning into my video series. My name is Tim, and how do I do this? 01 at yahoo.com. You can email me, you can send me a Yahoo Messenger, text message, or instant message. Thanks again for tuning in. We're going to continue a quick lesson here, or follow on to a lesson for taking command of your computer. Now, we've already covered using your command button. Now, in the command button, or in the first lesson, you would have seen that when you switch over from your basic view to your high graphics or quote unquote best looking graphics that you can get on your computer. If you're using Vista, it switches your start button over to a nice little round button, which is similar to the command button down here on your keyboard. Both bottom of the keyboard, both left and right, next to your control button is your command button. It's the one that looks like a Windows logo. Most people don't really even know what this is because they're so used to using your mouse that they don't realize that you really don't even need to have a mouse for most applications in Windows. The GUI interface, or graphics user interface, that we use is basically point and click, and people have gotten away from knowing and understanding just how the computer works. Mice didn't come along until well after the computer was established, and the mouse interface was simply a way to make it more user-friendly for people. And speaking of a little bit more user-friendly for people, I'm not against having it user-friendly. I just want people to know all their options rather than having people trapped into, oh, I don't have my mouse, what do I do, what do I do? The options are here, the knowledge is here, and the ability for you to use your computer is here without using your mouse. You just have to spend a little time and effort learning how to do it. Now let's move on down. Now if you push your command button, which is the little Windows logo key, and your pause break key, that will open up the user interface for your control panel / system view. Now this one here I have over to system properties. Let's go ahead and press this other one here, control or command and pause break. Now this covers, on your older versions of Windows, you're going to see just the system properties. Again, going back to my other lessons, you have your title bar, you have your file menu bar. All this hasn't changed. Everything that you do on your computer is going to be corresponding to earlier versions of Windows. In other words, everything that Windows, Microsoft, and other companies that have built on top of for making you think that they're giving you a new, better, improved version of Windows, it has to have the same building blocks. In other words, they started with DOS, and believe it or not, every single computer out there works on some form of DOS. It's basically a binary command system that executes programs. Basically what we're doing here is we're just using the point and click method, or GUI interface. Basically what I want to cover today is just a couple things specifically within Windows to make it a little bit more user-friendly for you. Obviously I covered Device Manager before, but just so you know, we'll open this up. If you're having any kind of issues with your computer, say you got, excuse me, if you have a virus, if you have your computer doing weird things, and you've tried my other videos such as computer tune-up and or operating self-repair video, or OS self-repair video, and it's not working, what you would want to do then would be to check in this particular window here, which is Device Manager, and it will tell you a little bit more about what's going on. More importantly, if you do have a piece of hardware that has a hard failure, in other words, it physically is broken, a lot of times you'll get an indicator right here on these drop downs. Now you got the little plus and minus signs. Each one of these is going to show what exactly you have on your computer. Specifically, I dropped my USB. You can tell I have a camera. You can tell I have other devices here. USB mass storage device would be a flash drive. And there's other items here that you would have. Specifically, what you're looking for in this window is an interface for you to physically see if there's something broken on the computer, and to give you information such as driver versions. You can click here on properties, you right click, and it will give you what you're dealing with. It'll tell you very specific information, including what drivers you have and the specific details about what driver files you have on your computer and what resources the computer is using. It doesn't sound like that's important, but if you have two different devices trying to use the same IRQ, you're going to have a problem. Two items cannot use the same physical spot on a computer at the same time. So basically, and in most cases, if you see that, it's going to show up as a yellow dot with an exclamation mark, and that's perfectly normal if you have a conflict. Or if you have something turned off, you'll see the red circle with a slash through it. This is all just information that you should know so that you can better help a technician. If you're not sure how to find this stuff, it's going to seriously impede your ability to get your computer back up and working. In most cases, I do online support. I can plug directly into your computer using the remote desktop system, which I'll go ahead and minimize this. You notice here you have remote settings. That means that somebody from Microsoft or another company, with your permission, can log onto your computer and help you find the problem. But if you don't know how to do this, don't know how to find this, basically it's going to take a whole lot more time. So the more you can help the technician to help you, the better off you're going to be. Now let's step down to the next one. Windows security. The reason you have Windows security is to protect yourself and protect your computer from malicious software, from viruses, from malware, and from spam. You can go through each of these drop downs. You'll notice that I have a firewall up, but I don't have my malware or my other settings. My Windows Defender is turned off. The reason it's turned off is I have another security program, PC Tools. This covers the whole gambit of all stuff, so you don't really have to worry if you've got a good virus software program. PC Tools is free online, so is AVG and Avast, Kaspersky, and a few others. They're generally giving away free versions online. They're not. No one is going to be any particularly better than the other one. It's just what works best for you and learning the interface for the program. Anyway, let's move on. The other thing is, in your control panel, you have ease of access. Now here, I'm showing you this, but you also can go up here to your start menu, programs, accessories. This is going to be one of your best drop downs under programs for you to learn and to know what's here, because everything in this thing for the drop down under accessories are going to be things that you will use. If you learn how to use them, you'll think, wow, why didn't I know this before? Well, Windows Explorer is a perfect example. WordPad, I would urge people, rather than write down notes and take up a lot of paper, you can use WordPad to take quick notes. You can save them in My Documents, or you can create a folder for your own personal notes. You can